Okay, so let's accept Jabberwocky.
You have recovered the Orb of Possibilities from Gul Kardek. No doubt you are being pursued by True Way forces. You must return the orb to the temple in Hathon. I have notified Vedek Krin. She is waiting for you in the temple.
Okay, so we have to return the orb to the temple. Get experience points, expertise, and dilithium ore. And we can choose one of the following armor or shield options. Okay, once we complete that mission, so let's accept it.
How can I help you?
And there we go, we got the pop-up for that. Right, begin. We have arrived in the Bajor system, sir. We are, sir, detecting Cardassian warp signatures. It's the True Way. They're hailing us. On screen.
I am Gul of the Kriegar, Adjutant General to Gul Kardek. You are carrying stolen property belonging to the True Way. Lower your shields and prepare to be boarded.
Are you insane? We're in the orbit of Bajor. We could have ships here in a moment. He has cut off communications and is powering up weapons. What are your orders, sir? Hell Deep Space 9.
Sarah's here.
Commander, we have been ambushed by the True Way in the orbit of Bajor.
In the orbit of Bajor? But how could they? Nerve of the... Sorry, I'm okay. I will borrow the Defiant and be there momentarily.
Thanks, we will hold out as long as we can. And we have a temple probe as well. So, let's take out...
Target shields have failed. Four shields failing.
Okay, that's him out. Take out the other one.
Target's shields have failed.
Okay. And let's...
Good. You're still in one piece. Let's teach these Cardis a lesson.
I appreciate your zeal, Commander, but let's not get carried away. Right. Can we scan the distortion? Okay. What do we have to do to unlock it? Oh, another key series. Okay. Okay, so number 1 is right. Let's try number 2. Okay. So let's do 3rd digit. Okay, and 4th digit. Okay. There we go, done. There's a communicate in this probe. Looks like standing orders for Nakal operatives in this region. Let's see it.
Warning, ship is under attack.
Alright, we will
Four shields failing.
see if we can do that in a minute.
Hull integrity below 75%. Target shields have failed. Right shields failing. Hull integrity below 50%. Rear shields failing.
Oh, that's been interesting. Come on. Get the hull back. Let's pick up these items quickly.
Target's shields have failed.
Right.
That's the last of them for now. I will remain in orbit while you return the orb, just in case.
Thank you, Commander. Not now. Thank you. I wanted to read that probe. Let's go. Right. Can we read what she was saying? Let's see the communique. The Bajoran orbs represent one of our best opportunities for victory. Stay alert for any opportunities to acquire one. This area of space is prone to visits from the so-called mirror universe. In the event of a meeting with individuals from that dimension, do not engage in combat unless fired upon. Take all measures necessary to prevent injury or death to the Terran admiral known as Lita. Curious, the Nicole might be trying to forge an alliance with the Terran Empire. Okay. Okay, before I forget, let's beam down. Vedek Krin indicates she is waiting for you at the temple. Acknowledged. Right, so what we could do is have a tour of Bajor. So this is the transporter room that you first beam into. So if we go outside, we've got several labyrinthian pathways that we can go to. So let's start from going to the left. And in here is the garden. With some plants in it. And we can talk to the gardener.
Hello there, friend. Do you need assistance?
What do you do?
I get my hands dirty for the good of Bajor. We have a full-time botanist on staff here, but I'm the one who helps translate the science into practical applications farmers in this region can use to improve their crops. I've loved green and growing things since I was a child. Some of my earliest memories are of helping my grandmother in the garden, as she taught me the names of all the plants and how to care for them. No matter how much Bajor advances, it will always be a world that respects and values its forests and farms. We live in harmony with our world, just as the prophets intended.
Okay. So that's the gardener. So we'll continue down the street. And we come out to an open area here that leads down to the central plaza. So let's speak to the militia officer.
How can I assist you today?
What do you do?
I don't even know if I'm supposed to be talking to you, but I always wanted to join Starfleet, so this is my first week on the job. I was expecting to get months more training, but Colonel Kuba says he needs every militia member on the streets. I thought this was going to be a great job. I get to help my friends and neighbors and serve the community. But now, with the Klingons here, they're so angry, and I don't want to die.
Okay. So let's continue down this side street. And there are several pathways all around the back streets. And there are some missions that we pick up that we have to run around the back of these streets. Let's talk to this militia officer. How can I help you, Captain? What do you do? I'm just trying to restore peace. Normally working security here in Hathon isn't too difficult. We break up a few fights now and then, mediate disputes between citizens and coordinate with militia command in the capital. Now though, we're all working double or triple shifts and it's still not enough. Okay. So let's come down this way. And down here is operations. There's Colonel Kubis. Is there anything else that you need, Captain? Right. What is your role here on Bajor?
Back in my day, things were different.
Now that Bajor is part of the Federation, my job is to keep the peace here. It's harder with Starfleet and the Klingons planet side. There are still Bajorans who remember the occupation. I grew up in a refugee camp and I have friends and family who don't like the idea of any outside organisation establishing a base on Bajor, friend or foe. The Federation respects that for the most part. Kurlan has kept his people on DS9. That's fine with me. The militia is more than willing to leave everything that happened off-world to Starfleet. And now, you're here in my city. That means you're my problem. Why are people upset of our arrival?
Peace and quiet. That's what we need.
Our world has changed more in the past 50 years than it did in the 500 years before it. The end of the occupation, the return of the emissary, the Dominion War, joining the Federation, the Undine, the war with the Klingons. Bajor is a different planet now. Some would say it has changed too much. Okay. So this is the militia office. And if we come this way, we have a militia officer. Tell me about the Bajoran militia. Some people say we're the ones who were left behind. What is now the militia was formed out of the resistance to the Cardassian occupation. We protected the planet, worked on DS9 side by side with Starfleet, and even began sending out our own ships. Joining the Federation changed all that. Now the militia isn't needed anywhere but on Bajor. Hundreds of militia officers applied to join Starfleet after we signed the Federation Charter. Most of the best of our young people go to the Academy. The militia is a planetary organisation now. We patrol the cities, help in times of crisis, handle functions like immigration and security, and we don't ever leave home. Starfleet can take care of space. Those of us who are still in the militia are here because we love Bajor. I don't need to explore the galaxy. Everything I could possibly want is right here. Okay. Looks like weapons display. Anything back here? No. Okay. So let's carry on down this way. Nothing up that way. And here looks like a commodities freight depot. So, what is your opinion of the situation here? First there was the occupation, and then the turbulence of the provisional government. When things were finally starting to look up, the Dominion War started. There were days when I didn't know if Bajor would survive. We were in the hands of the prophets. Since then, there have been a lot of improvements. I don't care what other people say. Joining the Federation has been good for Bajor. If pitching in, and there's work to be done, is the price for all the prosperity and advancements that the Federation have brought to Bajor, is worth it. Okay, so what do we have in here? Just a room, okay. So that brought us out to the main plaza. So where we're heading is that way, but we're having a bit of a tour. So over here we have bank and exchange access. And if we come down this way, there might be some things down this way. Let's have a look. Okay, so we've got a little square over here, and we've got a ship selector and requisitions. We've got mail access. We've got the Starfleet Center here. Where's Captain Curran?
Give me a sit rep.
Curran is running things from his end on board the Defiant. They're in orbit of Bajor now, but ready to move to the Gamma Quadrant or back to DS9 if the situation changes. With the loss of Commander Andrews, Starfleet knew Captain Curran would need some assistance here, and I'm used to a little chaos. My last posting was coordinating refugee transports out of Heterodiny. I'll handle things here on the ground, and you can coordinate the counterattack.
I have new orders for you.
Okay, that's a bit premature. I don't think we've got that far yet. Then we've got Cadet. Okay, so there's a little side mission there that we can collect. Let's have a look. Join civilian. Why are you here? This is my sanctuary. I come here every day for a few minutes before I go home. It's the only time I have truly to myself. I have 3 young children and a business to run, so even when I'm home there's always some work that needs to be done or someone who needs my attention. I love my family, but sometimes I just need to be in a quiet place. Okay. And there's a couple of food and drink vendors over this side. And over this side is another Federation office.
Do you need something?
Tell me about yourself.
I'm here to help.
I'm just glad to be here to help out. I was at DS9 waiting for the USS Tempest when the Jem'Hadar attacked. I evacuated with the station staff, and instead of sitting on my hands waiting for a rescue, I volunteered to help with operations here. That's what I do. Operations isn't the most glamorous station on the starship, but I help ensure that everything that needs to be done gets done, so that the captain and the rest of the senior officers can concentrate on the bigger issues. And there are a lot of issues here. I'm Betazoid, so I can sense all of the unrest here. The DS9 crew are mourning the losses and uncertain of what to do next. Captain Colan has the weight of the world on his shoulders. There's a lot of Bajorans who just wish we'd pack up and go home. But that's what we're here to do, right? No one's leaving until we can take back DS9.
I'm here to help.
Again, we haven't got to that yet. And if we come through here, there's a holodeck. Speak to the technician. What do you do? My job here is to keep the holodeck running. The technology part is simple, but then I started working with Commander HM to program combat training scenarios. She's demanding, but I like working for an officer who knows what she wants. If these programs can help one person get ready to fight the Jem'Hadar and retake DS9, all the work has been worth it. The more we prepare, the more lives we'll save. Okay? Alright, I don't think we'll talk to every single person. What have we got out this way? Here's a medical office. Okay, and we got a medical officer like we have on other places. So let's see, that's another mail access console. And come down this way. Okay. We've got another militia officer down there, which probably would say the same thing as the last one. There's food and drink vendors. Oh, and a bar. What do you serve here? We're spring wine, fine decker tea, fresh mobered fruit and larish pie, and the spiciest hasperat in the province. Nothing is replicated in all from local farms. That's what the people around here like, something familiar and made with care. After we joined the Federation, I tried to bring some tastes from other worlds, but no one was interested. Took me weeks to get rid of all that Andorian cabbage soup. Right, and we'll get a normal bartender menu, I suspect. The other option, right. So come down to the square, the main square. So let's go over to the water. And if we look in the water, there's some fish. And a little water fountain. And let's go over to where our mission is. There's a couple of other people to speak to, but I don't think it'll advance the path that we're on at the moment. So let's go this side and have a look. Okay.
How can I help you?
What do you do?
Peace be with you.
My task is to try and convey the wisdom of the prophets to the people of Hathon. The ways of the celestial temple are mysterious. What can be understood, however, is love. The prophet's love surrounds us. It's in every rock and tree of Bajor. It's on the warm summer breeze and in the smile of a loved one. When the emissary walked among us, he was the voice of the prophets. Now it falls to servants like me to try and follow in his footsteps.
How can I help you?
Can you tell me about these books?
These are all ancient tomes, dealing with the prophets and our history with them. My people have studied the ways of the Celestial Temple for thousands of years. Much of that knowledge has been retained. We are fortunate to have the words of our ancestors preserved in this fashion.
I'd like to read them. Okay, so there's lots of books in here to read, and I'm not going to read them all. There's another mail terminal here. Now let's talk to... Is there a room this side? No, let's talk to the priest.
Greetings. Do you seek the wisdom of the prophets?
What do you do?
I am a seeker of knowledge. I spend my days in service and prayer. The prophets have many things to teach us, but their lessons are subtle and full of mystery. It takes a quiet, attentive mind to understand. I am not as wise as Ranjan Ravel, but he is always willing to help pilgrims like me find our way. I may never fully grasp the wisdom of the prophets, but I can try. The journey to enlightenment is a blessing in of itself. If that is all I ever have, it is enough.
Okay. And here's the temple. With an orb already. And that is the end of the tour of Hathon and Bajor. Right, so let's go and turn in this mission.
Greetings. Do you seek the wisdom of the prophets?
I'm looking for Vedek Krin.
Vedek Krin is in the temple office, just to the east of here.
Thank you. Okay, so this way? No, can't be. Huh? Not actually in the temple. Huh? Okay. Ah. There she is. Hiding behind the books. Right, speak to the Vedek.
How may I help you?
I'm here to return this orb to the temple.
Wonderful. The prophets have smiled upon us this day. What was lost has been returned to us. You have done a great service for the Bajoran people today, and we are most grateful.
It was an honor and privilege to carry this burden.
Please, place the orb upon the altar.
With pleasure, Vedek Krin. Okay, so now we need to go and place the orb in the temple.
The service rendered is not the service desired. What does not belong cannot be returned.
What has been returned does not belong. We must travel backward.
When we gaze in the mirror, we see our faces as others do, but reversed.
Your task abides. You have recovered an orb. Now you must return it.
As you must return.
Well, well. What's that about then? Right, let's go back and talk to the Vedek.
I would be honored to know what the prophets shared with you, if you are willing. Sometimes their visions can be very confusing, and I have some experience interpreting them.
It was very cryptic, but they seemed to suggest that this is not their orb, that I must return it elsewhere.
Elsewhere? But it is an orb of the prophets. Where else could it belong? Unless... Are you familiar with the so-called mirror universe? I know very little about it myself, but there is a book on that table over there by a Vedek Eth describing his experiences. Perhaps it can guide you.
Thank you. Right, let's try this one. I've been fascinated with the existence of this so-called mirror universe ever since our recent contact with it. I have interviewed the emissary, Colonel Kira, and others about their experiences with the mirror universe. But many questions remain. It seems the mirror universe has prophets, but are they the same prophets? There is no mention of a celestial temple, and certainly the mirror Benjamin Sisko was no emissary. I shall petition the Vedek Assembly for permission to enter the mirror universe. The Vedek Assembly has denied my request. Besides the debates about doctrine and theology, the deciding factor was political. The Federation has quarantined any access to the mirror universe, and Bajor is seeking membership. I have continued my research by interviews, but my questions remain unanswered. I fear I have no choice but to renounce my seat in the Assembly and pursue entrance to the mirror universe on my own. I don't have the technological prowess to create one of those multi-dimensional devices myself, but I have an engineer friend that owes me a favour. I am lucky to be alive. I managed to cross over to the mirror universe, but Terek Nor, as they call Deep Space Nine, has been taken over by the Terran Rebellion. They are using it as a base of power, attempting to reassert their control over the Bajor sector. Bajorans are not trusted, and are used mostly for mining and ore processing, a cruel irony given Bajor's history in both universes. But I was able to join the Bajoran workers and get some of my questions answered. The Bajorans of the mirror universe are much like us, and it sounds as if their prophets are also most similar. They even have orbs such as we have here. However, to them the celestial temple is myth and metaphor, not a physical place such as ours. I do not know if this is because it simply hasn't been discovered, or if the prophets of that universe have sealed themselves away for some reason. The only way to find out is to either cross over with a spaceship, or to somehow procure one there. I have received a curious message from somebody from the mirror universe offering me assistance. Note: shortly after making this entry, Vedek Eth disappeared and was never heard from again. Okay. We believe this orb is from the mirror universe. We think we can pass into it through an anomaly we found earlier.
Acknowledged. Be careful. The mirror universe is known to be more treacherous than our universe. and you will be cut off from any support here.
I appreciate the concern, Commander, but we will be fine. Are you ready to beam up, sir? Yes, beam me up and set a course for the Badlands. Nourish here. What's your status? We've entered the Badlands and are heading to the anomaly.
Acknowledged. Keep comm lines open as long as possible.
Acknowledged.
We have limited intelligence on the Mirror Universe, but from what we know, it appears the Terran Rebellion spread from Terok Nor, eventually forming a new empire. The Terran Empire has reoccupied Bajor. I believe this Captain Lita is the administrator of the Bajor sector.
I am Gul Kardek of the Torn, Chief Tactical Advisor to Gul Kardek of the True Way. You are not welcome here. Lower your shields and prepare to be boarded.
Red alert.
I believe Gul Kardek must have used the orb from the Mirror Universe to somehow create the anomaly leading back there. He then must have formed an alliance with the Terran Empire.
Warning. Ship is
Stay on
under
your
attack.
guard. They are fully expected.
Target's shields have failed. Target's shields have failed.
Right, got rid of those quickly. Where's the, oh. Sir, I believe we could activate the portal by bombarding it with tachyon radiation. Make the necessary modifications to the deflector dish. Okay, so we'll just swing round to get closer. Right, let's bombard it. Okay, that seemed to work, so let's enter the portal.
Greetings. I am Captain Lita of the Terran Empire. What a pleasure it is to have visitors from your universe. When Gul Kardek said you might be along, I didn't really believe him. But I couldn't afford to take the chance. Surrender. Now. And I will guarantee the safety of your crew.
We will never surrender.
What a pity. We could have had so much fun together. And now, I have to destroy you.
You can try. Weird. Right, let's get to it.
Target's shields have failed.
Okay, there's one down. Get the other one. Okay, that's him. One more.
Warning, ship is under attack. Target's shields have failed.
Okay, send a couple of torpedoes his way then. Now we've got a cruiser, so that'd be a bit more tougher to get rid of.
Growing rather bored before you showed up.
Oh,
Target's shields have failed.
let's put a tractor on him. It looks like he's got a tractor on me as well. Okay, there we go. Let's pick up that drop.
Target's shields have failed.
Okay. There we go.
Apologize for the state of my troops. They've grown rather complacent. I shall have to provide a demonstration, apparently.
Okay.
Target's shields have failed.
Gul Kardek warned me not to underestimate you. I won't make the same mistake next time we meet.
Okay. So once we drop out a red alert, we'll be able to warp to Bajor. Let's go. Make it so. We have arrived on Bajor in the Mirror Universe. From what I've been able to pick up on comm chatter, Bajor was reconquered by the Terran Empire and is occupied by them again. We should be on our guard. Acknowledged. Right, so this is the mirror version of Hathon, which we've just done a tour of. So let's have a little look around. Here, it's a lot darker than the Prime Universe. So let's head on down this way. That's the garden. Let's have a look.
I'm very busy. What do you want?
What do you do?
What does it look like I'm doing? Microsurgery? I get my hands dirty, and I show farmers how to grow crops. We have a botanist, but he's one of those ivory tower scientific types that wouldn't know a hoe from a rake. I wanted to be an engineer, but when the Terrans retook Bajor from the Klingon-Cardassian alliance, opportunities suddenly dried up. So I fell back on the family tradition of gardening. No matter how many times Bajor gets conquered, it always seems to be a cultural backwater that relies on manual labor. We live in harmony with our world, just as the prophets intended, whether we like it or not.
Okay. Sir, those appeared to be true-way soldiers. Could they have followed us through the portal? I believe it's more likely they were Gul Kardek's troops waiting for us. Okay, let's pick up that item, since we got attacked while we were listening to that gardener. Okay, and there's checkpoint officer.
What do you want? I'm very busy.
What do you do?
I don't even know if I'm supposed to be talking to you. You don't look like Terran Empire. This is my first week on the job. I was expecting to get months more training, but Commander Kuba says he needs every Terran Empire member on the streets, especially the Bajoran ones. He thinks it will pacify them to see Bajorans on their force. I thought this was going to be a great job. I get to help my friends and neighbors and serve the community, but now all my Bajoran friends see me as a traitor, and the Terrans see me as a spy.
Yeah, she's definitely bitter, isn't she? Oh, hold on. What's this?
Gul Kardek was right. You are formidable, but pitifully predictable. Terran forces, attack the invaders! I want them alive.
Okay. We're going to have a little battle here then. There's Lita over there. Oh, there we are.
Guards! Guards!
Okay. So we're taking care of that. Okay.
Personal shield losing power. Flanking damage detected. Personal shield losing power.
We will meet again. Soon.
Okay. It looks like some of the streets and are blocked off, and so you can't explore the whole city. Okay, and the Federation place looks like it's closed off. Yeah, so you can't explore a lot of the...
You don't have clearance to be here. Please step away from the checkpoint.
May I go to the next district?
I'm sorry, sir, but I don't have clearance to allow anyone past this point without prior authorization from Commander Achebe.
Okay. So you can't go very far by the looks of it around the Mirror City. So we still have Mirror Fish by the looks of it. And the statue by the waterfall has changed to a dancer. Okay, we could talk to this person. Oh, or not.
You have interfered with my plans for the last time.
Okay. So, we're going to have to take him out now. Well, let's see if we can talk to this person.
What do you want with me?
Tell me about this place.
This is the heart of Hathon. The buildings surrounding this plaza were the first buildings constructed in our city. Here, our ancestors raised their families and gave thanks to the prophets for their many blessings. Once, people came here to talk to their neighbors, and we gathered here each year for the Gratitude Festival. But now it is only a place of dark memories. When the Terran Empire conquered Bajor the first time, they posted the new laws here. When the food rationing started, we came here to collect the scraps they gave us. When they took our sons and daughters to the mining camps, the trucks stopped here to collect them. And when the Terran Empire conquered us again, they hung the bodies of those who opposed them here to remind us to keep in our places. I come here to reflect on the fallen and the price of freedom.
Stop! Fighting is not permitted here.
Oh no. These are changing.
Not your affair.
Okay then. Oh, you've got me. Oh, I fell in the water. And we can capture the changeling, like so, and that gives us a defeated changeling, and we can turn that in back on DS9. Okay, so we need to treat the injured Vedek. Before we do, let's just have a chat with the temple priest.
Greetings. Do you seek the wisdom of the prophets?
What do you do?
I am a seeker of knowledge. I spend my days in service and prayer. The prophets have many things to teach us, but their lessons are subtle and full of mystery. It takes a quiet, attentive mind to understand. I am not as wise as Ranjan Ravel, but he is always willing to help pilgrims like me find our way. I may never fully grasp the wisdom of the prophets, but I can try. The journey to enlightenment is a blessing in of itself. If that is all I ever have, it is enough.
Wonder what happens if we ask her about
Greetings.
Vedek.
Do you seek the wisdom of the prophets? Vedek Krin is in the temple office, just to the east of here.
Really? Is she? Nope. We don't want to read the books. Okay then, let's treat the Vedek. We need to speak to her.
Thank you. I feel much better. But a changeling? Here, we only have stories. In any event, what was the purpose for your visit?
I have come to return your orb.
The Orb of Possibilities? But that was lost decades ago, during the first occupation of Bajor. However did you come by it? Never mind. The prophets teach us not to look at their workings too closely. Don't just stand there. Place it on the altar.
You are most welcome. Right then. Let us go and place it on the altar. Before we do though, oh, there's a pad.
From Gul Kardek to Gul Palat, I have run into some complications. Namely, some agents have interfered with my plans. They have stolen the Orb of Possibilities. I assume they have returned it to the Bajorans by now. Fortunately, the anomaly remains stable. I was able to retreat to the mirror universe where I have taken shelter with my Terran allies. However, I believe they are waiting for my return. Therefore, I need you to meet with Dumatsu Khan at the facility in the Devos system in my stead. Coordinates are attached.
Ooh. Okay. Wow. This is Mirror Hathon. Right, let's turn in this orb.
We are most grateful. We had thought the orb lost forever. You have restored the balance.
Your enemies lie in wait. They want to prevent your return.
But we shall restore the balance as you did.
You have returned our orb.
Now you must return.
Sir, what just happened? You opened the orb case and suddenly everything went white and we appeared on the Catalina orbit of Bajor. And we appear to be back to our own universe. I believe the Mirror Prophets returned us. I must consult with Vedek Krin. Right, let's speak to the Vedek. Here we go.
Greetings. I did not see you enter the temple.
I believe the Mirror Prophets returned me here.
Indeed. I know little of the Mirror Prophets, but if they are like ours, then this is a great honor. Rarely do the Prophets interfere so directly. I take it your mission was a success?
Yes, the orb is back in its proper place.
Then you have the gratitude of 2 Bajors. May the Prophets continue to smile upon you.
Thank you, Vedek.
So, Gul Kardek was a changeling. This does not bode well. An alliance between the True Way and the Alpha Dominion could prove disastrous for the Alpha and Beta Quadrants. However, the orb has been returned to the Mirror Universe, and you have returned to ours. Nevertheless, we must stop this alliance before they can do any further damage. We shall analyze the pad you retrieved to see if we find this Ketracel White factory.
Okay, and we'll get the experience points, expertise, and the lithium ore, and we need to choose an armor or a shield. So again, let's have a look at our character. So that comes with a 40% critical severity and 10% physical damage melee. Energy dampening armor, which has 30% health regeneration. Or we've got one polyalloy weave, which has got more physical and kinetic resistance, phase and disruptor resistance, 30% health regeneration, And what about the shield? Yes. Better shield. Rapidly regenerates after not taking damage for 3 seconds, 2 seconds if crouching. Regenerates 4.4 shield capacity every 2 seconds. I'm going to go with the polyweave armor, I think. So let's connect.
How can I?
Congratulations, Captain.